Hi. So yeah, I kind of want this to be like almost like a verbal notepad for myself because I'm too lazy to actually write down anything. Okay. So I'm trying to organize thoughts together and try to figure out why is it, do I feel that this explanation for all of human uniqueness in terms of our ability to have language, to think abstractly, to have culture, and all these things that pretty much all animals can't do or aren't doing, and that all this is can be reduced to or is created by the desire to mate. Now, I really have trouble with this issue because it says that everything that we do, all cultural achievements, and just culture in general, and just everything that we do is to attract the opposite sex in order to reproduce. This is flawed. It's so reductionistic. Science grabs a hold of it because it's so neat, so mathematical. But I have an almost intuitive aversion to this, and so I'm trying to get my thoughts out so I can rationalize this in a way. I feel I've rationalized it already, but I haven't written down yet and actually articulated my points, so that's what I'm doing here. So, the problem with this reductionistic idea is that it doesn't do what culture is, it doesn't do it justice. It may seem that males or even females are always thinking of, in terms, I guess in female terms it's resources, and in males it's males it's just looking for new mates. They forget that when people are bored and they have their needs satisfied, they create. They create, and all this creating is done in the absence of any biological desire to mate. It's just you have nothing else to do, or you got everything else done, and so you start doing that thing that's not sex, which is culture, which would be listening to music, creating music, art, politics, all these things, philosophy, entertainment, all these things are done in the absence of desire. Then we have our desires and we go back. And then we come back to, for many of us, entertainment or philosophy, culture in general. So knowing this, it's already evident that what you're saying the activity is for is done in the absence of that thing that it's for. You're saying culture, or when I say you're, I'm just meaning the argument here. Sorry to make it second person, but when you say that culture is only for sex, or only to created by the desire and the push to strive to make to mate. Let me put it this way. Let me just I'll maybe back step a little. Basically, the idea is that the brain is like a peacock's tail. It's there to flaunt. A person writes a song, it's to attract ladies, or vice versa for women. A person creates a reflective essay, it's to get laid. This is the basic premise that what we're doing with our brain here is attracting other opposite sex brains and bringing them toward us. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. That's all good and fun, and animals do this all the time. Well, yeah, animals. That's not all life, but animals do. And so, my question is, why hasn't if the most common thing for animals to do is to have this desire, and life has been on this planet, or at least animal life has been on this planet for more than 2 billion years. Why is it that, or maybe a billion years? I'm not sure, but why is it that this huge surge in intelligence, mainly culture and language, why hasn't it come out in any other animal if desire is the basic building block of life? It only has come up now, and it seems so ephemeral too. Yet it's controlled the whole world. It's led to humans becoming something like an invasive species and completely taking over. I mean, that's kind of like what we are. We're like an invasive species. I mean, there are other animals that have, for instance, like dogs, carnivores, and big cats have been on every continent, but not in the way that we are. I mean, we just completely flatline all ecosystems. You know, you just think of an office room and think of how devoid it is of any ecosystem. That's human ingenuity. So it's, we are like an invasive species. So this ability has come up, and they're telling us it's because we're monkeys. We're trying to find ways of getting other monkeys to rub our nuts together. But rubbing nuts together creates something that transcends the nuts. You see, that's my problem. So basically, what I'm saying is that if you have many factors, many factors leading, I'm not going to say that sexual selection didn't influence brain size. It did. But I don't think it influenced it any more than uh, eating meat, or our environment changing, or uh, our diet. That would be meat. Any of these other things, I don't think it's any more than. But it's implied as if when you read these evolutionary psychology papers and books, and you hear some of these guys talk, it seems as if they point the sole finger at desire. And I think it may be to sell books, to tell you the truth, because it's sexy. People, oh, it's sexy. And they think, well, everyone likes sexy, so that must mean that sexy is the reason why we are what we are. No! Sexy is just our animal nature. That's just our animal nature. That's how we are. It's what it is. And we're not the only animals that, like I said, like there's peacocks, there's other animals that flaunt certain things in order to get animals. So we're not the only ones dancing but there's something about our dancing and our music and our belly shaking that transcends physical matter. That transcends this. That in the way that the peacock tail doesn't. That means that a song can point to something beyond what's going on at that moment, either in place, in time, or even in realm, to use that word to get metaphysical here. So this part of our animal nature, it's not it's not the sole cause, because how can a piece of our animal nature lead us or be the sole cause for what makes us non-animal, what makes us so different from all other animals? Well, that's good enough for now. Maybe I should just shut up and I should go get laid. uh, but that's my whole point here, is that this referential aspect to our culture shows that this transcendental aspect shows that it's much more than our animal nature. Our animal nature is our animal nature, and this is something beyond. And it probably emanated from